Today, our group will be presenting on GIS for River Basin Management System in the developed country of Singapore. Today, our group will be presenting on GIS for River Basin Management System in the developed country of Singapore. To start off, what is GIS? GIS is Geographical Information System that can be defined as a framework for gathering, managing, analyzing, and visualizing spatial or geographical data. With the use of GIS system, it will give layers of information of geographic details of a location. Nice. How can GIS be used in the river basin management system? It is mainly used in an integrated of water resources, land use, and ecosystem within the river catchment area. It can also be utilized in preventing floods and give early warning for risk of flood of a region area. Maintaining the overall health of aquatic environments is also one of its benefits. Moving on, how can GIS usage for river basin management system is utilized in the country of Singapore? It benefits multiple agencies with the data gathered from GIS system. It is used in an integrated drainage and river catchment planning, in the real-time flood monitoring and early warning system. It is also utilized in the government agency initiative, which is the ABC Waters Program, Active Beautiful Clean Waters. And lastly, it is used in the urban ecology development for the country.
Today, I will talk about integrated training and river catchment planning in Singapore, a clearer approach for managing flood risk and water sources in a highly urbanized country. Singapore is surrounded by natural water sources like river and the sea. Due to limited land and frequent heavy rain, proper planning of draining system and river catchment is essential. The Public Utilities Board (PUB) is the national water agency responsible for water supply service. To support the integrated planning, PUB used Geographic Information System (GIS) technology to help map and model river catchment using data such as elevation, land use, and rainfall. This data is used in hydraulic simulations to predict flood scenarios and identify high-risk areas. The output from this model allows plan to create flood risk maps showing potential hazard and estimate damage. This is very useful in making development decisions and preparing emergency response. GIS is have access to vulnerable certain assets like home and building are to flooding. This supports smarter planning of draining system, canal, reservoirs, and green infrastructure to reduce flood impact. However, there are also challenges. Integrating different types of data like land use and weather is complex. Singapore's fast-paced urbanization also make it hard to keep map and models updated, require constant data maintenance. One example of integrated planning is a reservoir that contains 5 rivers. It's manage flood control, water supply, and riskation, showing the need to balance development and water natural aquifer. This discovery helped to improve flood mitigation effort. Integrated drain and river catchment planning supported by GIS is essential to make Singapore more resilient, sustainable, and flood safe. So the next fact about GIS in Singapore will conduct by my friends.
Assalamualaikum and good evening everyone. Now I will be presenting on real-time flood monitoring and early warning with a focus how Singapore use GIS to manage flood risk effectively. So first, let's begin with the definition. A real-time flood monitoring system is a system that continuously collect the analyzed live data including rainfall, water level and drainage condition from various sources. So this data help detect potential flood early. The early warning system that take this information and send timely alert to both authorities and the public. So this allow quick and effective response before the flood become dangerous. In Singapore, this system is powered by GIS, or we call it as Geographic Information System Technology. GIS help map and process spatial data from sensor and radar and CCTV camera, so authorities can make fast informed decision during flood situation. One of the key system used in Singapore is called the Drainage Information System, or we call it GIS, which is managed by PUB, Singapore National Water Agency. This system integrate real data from CCTV camera, water sensor and weather radar. Singapore Real-Time Flood Monitoring System is managed through the Drainage Information System (DIS) developed by the Public Utilities Board. The system integrates live data from multiple sources, including CCTV, water level sensor, and weather radar. This information is fed into GIS platform, which allow PUB to stimulate flood scenery, perform long-term planning, develop data, driving emergency response. For example, in the flood-prone Orchid Road area, where flash flood in 2010 and 2011 lead to installation of advanced monitoring tools. Now, let's move on the benefit this system. The integration of GIS in Singapore flood monitoring system bring three key benefits. First, it enables proactive flood management. Rather than waiting for flood to happen, PUB can detect water level rise and act immediately before the situation get worse. Second, it improves public safety with early warning sent through app, website. Residents and business have more time to prepare or evacuate if needed. And third, GIS help maintain critical drainage system. It identify block or underperforming drain, so maintenance team can act before they fail. But of course, every system has its challenge. One major challenge is sensor reliability. During heavy rain or storm, sensor or CCTV may malfunction, leading to missing or inaccurate data, which can delay flood response. The second challenge is the massive volume of real-time data. During major weather event, the system has to process huge amount of information. This can slow down the decision making, especially if the system is overloaded. Lastly, installing GIS-based infrastructure in urban zones like Orchid Road is technically challenging. It requires careful coordination to avoid disruption to traffic, business, and underground utilities. So, for conclusion, in summary, Singapore use of GIS or real-time flood monitoring through the Drainage Information System is a strong example of how technology can improve disaster preparedness. With benefits like faster response and public safety, despite a few technical challenges, the system has proven to be a key part of sustainable urban management. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and hello. So I will continue the presentation about the ABC program. So ABC program stands for Active, Beautiful and Clean Water Program. So basically, this program is a Singapore government initiative to transform Singapore waterways and water bodies into community space through the implementation of water policy and the comprehensive development of water facilities alongside urban development. Singapore has transformed its water sector from one of scarcity to sustainability. As a result, Singapore's ability to resist water has increased over the time. For example, the ABC Water Program changed streams and water bodies to bring people closer to the water by replacing the practical concentrated drainage and canal that restrict people out from these green areas. In addition, the ABC Waters program helps to enhance the utilization of Singapore's urban resources like water and space. Besides that, it adds value and provide additional uses. So next, I will explain about the application. Singapore applied the ABC Water Program by transforming waterways and reservoirs beyond their drainage and water storage function. By doing this, Singapore can highlighting their ideas to communities gathering and recreational. Singapore has implemented numerous successful proposals and systems under the ABC Water Framework, such as prioritization swellers, rain garden, and swellers into a new residential and commercial development. Rain gardens and green roof are examples of prioritization solutions that were incorporated into this ABC Water Program. To direct filter water through a nearby drain, the concept of soaking away rain gardens usually use subsoil pipe buried in the drainage layer, which will help in the process. By doing this, it helps to manage stormwater runoff efficiently and enhance biodiversity within the surrounding urban landscape. Moreover, the ABC water program put efforts into rain gardens and vegetated swales in new housing and development boards (HDB) to mitigate flooding and improve water quality within the densely populated residential area. So next, I will explain about the benefit of ABC water program. So first benefit of ABC water program is to slow down and treat runoff from stormwater. Natural treatment component known as ABC water design features are used to capture and purify runoff before it is released into water bodies and downstream waterways. Next, benefits are giving education awareness to the public. ABC program involve the public and give public a sense of stewardship towards water and to ensure the sustainability of scarce water resources in Singapore. In addition, the younger generation can study and practice sustainable management of stormwater through practical learning at ABC sites. Furthermore, enhancing community space is a benefit of the ABC program. By transforming waterways into attractive and functional areas, this will help to improve the community. For instance, the revitalization of Bishan Mo Kiong Park's Kallang River, which now flow like a meandering river with evidence of greenery. Moving forward, the first challenge to employ the ABC water program is design and high implementation costs. Construction of bioretention systems and constructed wetland ABC water features can increase the construction costs. Besides that, the complexity of the design, size of the area, and type of material used are other costs that should be considered. As example, Jurong Lake Gardens that features with various ABC water elements such as naturalized stream and wetland were estimated to cost 300 million for 28 projects. Next challenge in implementation of ABC water program is long-term maintenance. Long-term maintenance is needed in employ of ABC project is to ensure to provide adequate maintenance for existing system and to optimize the design of the new system. Besides that, it's hard to maintain the green infrastructure in the long term because it requires consistent monitoring and maintenance to ensure their hydrological and ecological health is in a good condition.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Khairul bin Karim and I will be presenting on my part that is urban ecology. Now as you can see from the slide is a shot of gardens by the Bay and the Singapore skyline. Today I'm going to talk about how we're going to explore the fascinating world of urban ecology with a special focus on how it's being applied in Singapore. Now urban ecology is the study of organisms including humans and the interactions within the cities, as McManus and Silva and Carlos have highlighted in their works in 2009 and 2024. Now, it's about understanding the city as a living ecosystem in a dense urban environment like Singapore. The interaction between humans and their environment is a constant and dynamic process. Now, this is where geographic information systems, or also known as GIS, becomes an invaluable tool. Now, GIS helps us apply ecological principles to urban planning in a very practical way. Now, moving on to the application part of urban ecology. So, in question, how is this applied in Singapore? You see, GIS is a powerful tool for the strategic placement of green infrastructure like parks, green roofs, and waterways. Now, a fantastic example of this is in Singapore is Bishan Mo Kiong Park and the extensive park connector network, which uses GIS to create a connected green corridor. Now, this strategic greening isn't just as for aesthetics; it has tangible benefits to the Singapore. It improves biodiversity, provides habitats for wildlife, and it's a key part of Singapore's strategy to reduce flood risks by absorbing rainwater. It also helps to combat the urban heat, the island effect, and reduce pollution, making the city more livable and healthier. Furthermore, urban ecology through tools like GIS is is used for disaster planning. We can map rainfall and land use to anticipate and mitigate the effects of extreme weather events as noted in the GIS Navigator's 2025 assessment. Now we're moving on to the benefit part of urban ecology. Now let's break down the benefits into two key areas: is public health and also climate resilience. From a public health perspective, GIS helps us plan green spaces and green roofs that improve air quality and provide areas for exercise and recreation, which improves the citizens of Singapore physical health. These green features act as natural filters, combating air pollution. But it's not just about physical health. We know that access to green spaces can significantly reduce stress, anxiety, and also depression of the citizens, contributing to the citizens' mental well-being. Now, on the climate resilience front, GIS in urban ecology is used to mitigate the effects of extreme weather, such as intense heat and heavy rainfall. By strategically placing parks and green areas, we can Singapore can absorb rainwater, reduce runoff, and relieve pressure on the stormwater systems. The roots of trees can also play a crucial role in preventing soil erosion and cleaning pollutants from the ground, making Singapore city more resilient to climate change. Now we're moving on to the challenges of applying urban ecology using GIS in Singapore. Now, of course, applying urban ecology in a city as complex as Singapore isn't without its challenge. The first major challenge is the inherent complexity of urban systems themselves. Singapore is a highly dynamic and intricate city. It's challenging to predict the complex interactions between natural and human systems, such as the formation of heat island or the flow of water bodies. This requires diverse, time-based data and advanced simulations, which are technically demanding. The second challenge is translating all of this into actionable insights. It's one thing to have the data, but it's another to implement it effectively into planning and policy. This often comes down to resource limitations, such as lack of sophisticated frameworks and tools. There's also a need for more experts and significant computational power to process and analyze the vast amounts of data needed for these kinds of advanced ecological models. Despite these challenges, Singapore continues to lead the way in using urban ecology and GIS to create a more sustainable, resilient, and livable city for all its inhabitants. That is it from me, and I will pass it to the next presenter.
To summarize our group presentation, the GIS for River Basin Management System has multiple use in the country of Singapore. The application has been used in integrated drainage and river catchment planning that assists in safe urban development, real-time flood monitoring and early warning system that benefits in flood management with faster response, the government agency initiative, which is the ABC's Waters program, Active Beautiful Clean Waters, that helps in overcoming the water scarcity problem, and lastly, in their country of urban ecology development that improves in citizens' well-being and supports sustainable development. With all their initiatives, it also comes with many challenges. For example, is the fast-paced development of the country, making for the GIS system harder to catch up. Next is the high-volume data management that comes with the GIS system, being over-dependent on the system, and the complex implementation and high maintenance costs of the GIS system. And lastly, the GIS could make the situation more complicated in a certain situation. Now, Singapore has managed to utilize GIS in the River Basin Management System almost to the fullest. Their effort should be an exemplary for other countries to follow, as it advocates efficiency in the scope of environmental management for the country. That's all for our presentation. Thank you.